In a tense Capitol Hill showdown, Representative Eric Swalwell corners DHS Secretary Kristi Noem over a widely circulated fake photo, exposing her evasions and sparking one of the most uncomfortable hearings of the year.
Time has expired. I now recognize Mr. Swalwell for 5 minutes of questioning.
Thank you, Madam Secretary. You have an important job. I think you have one of the most important jobs in the cabinet. Thank you for doing it. I want you to have credibility and be taken seriously as you do the job. And so I want to put to rest this question about Mr. Garcia in this photo that the president posted on April 21. Madam Secretary, you agree that the letters MS and the number 13 in Times Roman numeral font, that they are doctored on this photo, right?
Congressman Abrego Garcia.
No, I'm just asking about this photo.
It wasn't based off of tattoos. It was based off an entire case.
And I'll accept that
case against him.
For the purpose of this question. You agree, though, that this is doctored. Is that right?
The same protocols that are
Madam
applied
Secretary,
to every
I want you to have
individual with
credibility,
law enforcement.
and I want you to be taken seriously. Is this doctored or is it not doctored?
I am taken quite seriously.
Is it doctored or not doctored?
With the importance that the president has given me to do
I understand.
my job.
Is it doctored or not doctored?
One thing that's important to remember is that every single time a case is built.
Madam Secretary, I have a 7-year-old, a 6-year-old, and a 3-year-old. I have a bullshit detector. I'm just asking you, is this doctored or not doctored?
Sir, the protocols in the case built against
Can you
Abrego
answer the
Garcia
question?
were exactly the same.
Madam Secretary,
I don't have any knowledge as to that photo you're pointing to.
Okay, can you
I
take her,
don't, sir.
can you show her the photo? Walk her the photo down there. No, that one. Please take a look at this photo. It was tweeted by the president on April 21. It's been hanging out there for about a month.
So what is your point?
My question is the numbers and the letter MS-13. Could you look at the photo, please? It's right in front of
Are
you.
you saying Abrego Garcia is not a wife beater?
No, ma'am.
That he's not a criminal. He's not a human trafficker, and he's not a member of MS.
You vouched for Mr. Garcia when
You're
your team
vouching for
said,
a man
ma'am, you
that
vouched
is a
for him when
known
you said he was
violent
mistakenly
criminal.
deported.
Sir,
I didn't vouch for him.
I did not say
In that
he
photo,
should have been deported. Absolutely.
It's so
There was
telling
never
that
a
you
mistake
won't look at the
deporting,
photo.
And we will not be bringing
Was
him back
it
to this
doctored or
country.
not?
In staying here,
Can you look to your right at the photo in front of you?
Away.
Madam Secretary, can you look to the right at the photo in front of you?
I have seen this photo as you held it behind your head.
Thank you. And the letters MS and the numbers 13, are those doctored or not?
Testimony today is on a doctored photo. You don't want to talk about the facts.
Okay,
The
so
importance of our national security.
You acknowledge it was doctored.
To make sure that the United States is protected.
Madam Secretary, this is not a hard question. Are those doctored or not?
Sir,
is that actually on his hand or not?
This is unbelievable to me that you're focused.
It's unbelievable to me that you can't look at the photo and tell the American people.
I looked at the photo, but I don't have any knowledge as to this photo.
Okay, so it's been hanging out there for 4 weeks. You are one of the chief law enforcement officials in the country. What have you done to investigate whether the president misrepresented the reason that that person has been detained?
Sir,
have you done anything to try and figure out whether that was doctored or not?
The mission of the Department of Homeland Security is to secure our nation and to make sure that we're out there going after those that are the worst of the worst, the criminals, the bad actors. Abrego Garcia.
So the answer is you've done nothing to correct the president.
Member of MS-13, a wife beater and a human trafficker that should never have been in this country to begin with.
So, Madam Secretary, thank you, Mr. Burnett. 2 weeks ago, your agency deported a 4-year-old American citizen in a stage 4 cancer battle. What are you doing to get him back to the country so he can get his treatment?
Congressman, this mother wished to keep her family together and to take her child with her. So as every single person is given the opportunity to, medical care is given throughout the process.
Okay. So it sounds like
and
nothing.
For this child, medical care was confirmed in their home country so that it would continue, and those treatments and whatever needs were needed to be had into the future were confirmed to be provided there before.
That child's home country is the United States. Do you believe you have a right to deport a U.S. citizen?
That mother chose to keep her family together, and that is what President Trump is focused on.
That's not the facts of the case.
Yes, it is the facts.
Madam Secretary, moving on,
Confirmed that she wanted to keep her child with her, and our families and parents are given that ability to keep their children with them when they return to their home countries.
Madam Secretary, do you have a right to deport a U.S. citizen?
No, we do not deport U.S. citizens and have not deported U.S. citizens.
Except the 4-year-old that we just referenced.
That mother chose to keep her child with her, and that is her prerogative, and the law was followed in allowing her the opportunity to do that.
So Madam Secretary, I'm a former prosecutor. I have put people away for life sentences who are gang members. I don't need to wear costumes to show how tough I am. What makes me different from you is when I put those individuals away, I did it with the weight of the law behind me. And I yield back.
Mr. Chairman,
Gentleman yields.
I ask unanimous consent to enter an article from Fox 45 that states documents reveal a second protective order filed by the
In a congressional hearing that instantly went viral for all the wrong reasons, Representative Eric Swalwell confronted DHS Secretary Kristi Noem in one of the most uncomfortable, almost unwatchable exchanges to unfold on Capitol Hill this year. What began as a straightforward question about a widely circulated image turned into a tense, evasive, and frankly baffling moment as Noem refused, repeatedly and stubbornly, to admit the simple truth: the photo in question was fake. For viewers watching at home, the frustration was immediate. Swalwell came prepared, citing the claims, presenting the evidence, and walking Noem step by step through the timeline of how the doctored image spread online. Yet each time he pressed her for a direct acknowledgement, Noem dodged, deflected, or tried to reframe the conversation into something entirely unrelated. It wasn't just political spin. It was denial of a fact so obvious that millions of Americans had already recognized it as manipulated. Swalwell began by recapping how the photo surfaced. Anonymous accounts amplified it. Influencers picked it up, and within hours, partisan corners of the internet were using it to push narratives designed to inflame outrage. What he wanted from Noem was simple: an acknowledgement that the image was false and a commitment from the nation's chief homeland security official to speak truth when misinformation threatens public trust. But Noem refused, insisting she didn't want to speculate, even though the image had been publicly debunked by fact-checking organizations, independent analysts, and her own communications team. As the exchange grew sharper, Swalwell's frustration became palpable. He asked her again, slowly and clearly, "Madam Secretary, is the photo real or fake?" Noem sat back, dodged the question, and pivoted to unrelated talking points about border policy. Swalwell tried again. She deflected again. The pattern repeated, making the hearing feel like something out of a political satire. Except this was real, and it was happening under oath. At one point, Swalwell highlighted that public officials have an obligation to confront misinformation head-on, especially in an environment where fake images can spread faster than truth and influence millions within minutes. He reminded Noem that DHS itself warns about manipulated media as a national security concern. Yet here she was, unable to acknowledge what her own agency teaches. Misinformation must be addressed clearly and directly. Observers online quickly pointed out that the moment wasn't just embarrassing, it was alarming. If a top official can't bring herself to admit the obvious falseness of a simple image, what happens when misinformation involves national security, foreign interference, or threats to public safety? What happens when trust collapses because leaders refuse to say what is true? Swalwell continued pressing, refusing to allow the hearing to slide into confusion. He emphasized that leadership requires honesty, not avoidance. He asked Noem to consider the example she was setting. If she couldn't confront a fake picture, how could Americans trust her to confront real threats? Still, she offered no acknowledgement, no clarification, and no accountability. The tension in the room escalated as Swalwell delivered one of the most memorable lines of the hearing. "This isn't complicated. The image is fake. The country needs you to say so." The silence that followed said more than any words Noem could have offered. Her refusal became the headline, not the issue being debated, not DHS operations, not the broader security concerns. Instead, what gripped the public was the sheer unwillingness of a cabinet secretary to state a basic, verifiable truth. By the end of the exchange, it was clear why the clip went viral. It wasn't just Noem's evasiveness. It was the broader implication that truth itself is becoming optional for certain officials. Swalwell's frustration mirrored the public's. How can leaders expect trust when they can't acknowledge facts staring them in the face? The hearing may be over, But questions remain. Why couldn't Noem admit the photo was fake? What message does that send in a time when misinformation shapes public perception more powerfully than ever? And perhaps the biggest question, if confronting a doctored image is too difficult, what happens when the stakes are higher? This moment wasn't just almost unwatchable, it was a warning. And the American public felt every uncomfortable second of it.